Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another off the board layout for you guys today. And today is what is in my cup, or what fills my cup, something like that. And honestly, I took it very literally. And weirdly enough, I have cup mug board on Pinterest because some of the mugs out there are so creative and so unique. I took it to the next level and decided, oh my gosh, I can finally use the inspiration from these mugs and put them on my layout. So I have here an actual, technically 3 pages. I have these really big flip-flops that were super old from close to my heart. One is a 4x12 and the other one is an 8x12, and together they make a 12x12 once you flip them open. So you have to do both sides. So that makes 2 layouts. And then I have a third layout that won't be featured until in August. Yep. Real English going on here, guys. So I'm going to be using some mint tape papers. This one here, I believe, is from Life Stories. I'm sorry, I totally was not looking when I held it up to the camera. And then this one here is the Cedar House from American Crafts, and it's called Headliners, but it has a brick wall that is absolutely perfect for the design on my mug that I'm using as inspiration. I also got this really cool travel piece from Janet. She actually put together a whole bunch of scrapbook kits and sold them at almost like a flea market in her hometown. And then the leftovers, what she did was she took them and brought them to the next couple retreats and sold them there as well. And I picked up about, I think, 2 or 3. So I've got a couple pieces here for all 3 pages. So some of the stuff I will not be using at all on this page because it more pertains to the 3rd page inside. And then some of the stuff will be used on all 3 pages, like this compass rose. I won't be using these airplanes. They're also going to be used on the next page. I love this globe. I don't know if it's going to get used or not, you guys. Honestly, from Redefine Creative, I have this Go See Do acrylic piece. Absolutely love it. I've been dying to use it. I've had it for a couple years, so I'm not really sure. I have a couple Alta New pieces in here, Pear Tree pieces, and then of course 49 and Market pieces all in this little container. I'm so strange, you guys. When I'm done playing with stuff, I shove them in the closest bag. Like here, I've got 49 and Market, Uniquely Creative. I don't know where that wing is from. No clue whatsoever. I've got some Dusty Attic stuff in there, a whole mismatch of stuff that's left over from previous layouts that I have created using the same elements. And then I was super inspired by this globe cluster right here from this cluster kit, again by 49 and Market, and I believe it's the Wherever or Anywhere. I have no idea. I think it's, I don't know. Wait, can I see it? I don't know, you guys, but it has the globe, and I was very inspired by it. So I'm going to go off camera and make the globe exactly how it is, but I'm going to switch out because it was really, really blue. So I'm going to switch out a few things that aren't so blue with a couple orange things because I felt like orange needed to be in my layout. So I have a couple pictures here. Now, some of them won't make sense because, again, I'm working with a 3-pager, and once it's all put together, then it kind of makes more sense. But this one is called Globe and Atlas. It was my favorite bar because it was a little bit more on the steampunk side than any other bar that we went to. Now, I had a blast at a couple of the bars that we went to. Now, we're not huge drinkers. We drank mocktails more than anything. And so I have to say that, you know, you can go hang out at a bar and not drink, right? I loved all of the themes that each bar had to offer. It was just so super cool. Like the Rising Tide had some super cool alien looking things to offer, at least in my opinion. And then we had the robot bar. What was that called? Bionic bar. I mean, just a whole bunch of super fun themes to play along with all of the different areas you could go and chill out and relax in, right? Have a drink or, a fruit punch or something. One of the things that blew my mind, and maybe it's just because I'm from not California. Oh my goodness. I'm from Nevada, is there were kids allowed in the bars, like in the drinking area of the serving of the alcohol. There were children. And to me, that was unique. It was unheard of and I had a hard time accepting it. But like I said, we didn't go hang out in bars a whole lot. So what I'm doing here is I knew I was going to need a background sheet for when I actually open up my brick wall, and I wanted to portray my mug as much as possible. Now, I can't make it all 3D or anything like that. I do try, but I really can't make it the bricks look 3D because they're definitely 2D. I can't get that side angle going on. But I am going to cut in to my brick paper and make a crevice for my pictures to go into. So I did it off camera because it was so super boring watching me cut a little bit here and a little bit there and just a little bit. No, it was boring. I cut it all out, you guys. It would have taken me hours, and this video is already uber super long, and I don't know if I have enough to talk about. I'm not sure. So one of the things that I'm going to do that's going to help me try to make sense of the 3D element that I feel like I'm missing are these blending brushes, these detailed blending brushes from Altenew. You guys, these are super cool if you want to work in a small area. And I did not want to do too much blending. So what I did was I traced around my bricks, and then I'm going to take this blending tool and just feather it out a little bit past my not my ink spot, but my pencil line, right? Just feather it out and make it look like it's a shadow that was created by my brick. If I was to have used my big old huge blending brushes and the oval face that they have, I definitely would have gotten way too much on there. Now, because this is a glossy paper that I am putting it on, I am using my finger to kind of rub off a little bit and just leave that haze. And I'm very excited with how this looks. I really, really am. So I'm going to show you guys both. Now, the blending brushes come in a 3-pack. They're labeled too. I think there's a 7, a 5, and a 10, I think is what they're labeled at. And that is the diameter. I'm not really sure exactly what the 7s, the 5s, and the 10s mean, but those are they definitely are in correlation with how small, medium, and large they are. And so it's just kind of nice to have those options. It's also really nice if you want to blend in very tiny, very small sections of your stencils. Like if you have a flower stencil and you just want to add a little bit to the center of this bright yellow flower and you want to add a little bit of orange to the center, these are beautiful for that as well. So now that I'm done sounding like an infomercial, let's get back to the layout. I really loved this bar. I visited this bar at least 3 times on my walk around the ship before the whole ship was awake. I'm weird like that. I woke up with the sun. Actually, I woke up before the sun because I was able to get up on the 16th deck and take my sunrise photos, which I absolutely loved, by the way. It was so nice and so soothing. And have I told you guys that I never saw a single other person taking sunrise photos with me until the last 2 days, and then all of a sudden it was one of those things where the whole 16th floor was full of people. Like, aren't you guys supposed to be asleep? Where have you been the whole cruise? Anyways, so I definitely visited this bar. I wanted to make sure that I got all of my photos, and instead of having 3 or 4 different layouts of the same bar, I decided to combine them with all of the different photos that I have taken. I definitely combined them for my my one layout, and and that's how I ended up with technically 3 layouts. One of them's just going to open up, so that way you've got this really cool spread of pictures and things like that. So, and I thought, what best to make this layout but to use my mug as the inspiration and all these little bricks and things. I just thought it was perfect. And then, of course, on one of the flip side pages, I can't remember which one. I think it's the one with the Globe and Atlas banner hanging down, or sign hanging down. It actually has a picture that is encased in brick. So I thought it was very appropriate. I went with the wooden geotags from Pear Tree Cut Files instead of the cork ones. And now I'm just going through all of my goodies. Now, I already went through my goodies once and picked out the things that I might possibly use between all of the mishmash of stuff. So that way you didn't have to see me go through it and make those decisions. I really didn't pick out a whole lot because I knew, especially on these pages here, and then of course my page that you won't see until August, I knew that I was not going to be able to put a whole lot on these pages, but I wanted a little bit of something. I did take out one of my photos and I replaced it with that really cool globe cluster. And like I said, I did not put that cluster out there for you all to see because of course it's basically following the directions, right? I changed up a few things. I took a couple blue things out and I added some orange things because I felt like it needed a little bit more color other than just everything being blue. Plus I thought it blended in a little bit too much. I also am distressing all of my pieces and pages. What are they called? Not pieces and pages, my chipboard. So I am just using the ink that I already had on my desk. Most of it was from shimmers. So this one here is Before Dawn, and then the other one is the copper one. I forgot what's it called? Anyways, it's one of their new paint inks in there. So I always forget. Penny in Your Pocket. That's what it's called. That is what it's called. And so I made the coins look like they were copper coins, copper pennies and things like that, just by putting the little nozzles around. I did not want to spray them because I would have lost a lot. And then I love how that After Dawn turned into almost a charcoal gray rather than the blue that it is. It's a really dark, dark blue. And so I really do like that effect once it's soaked into the chipboard pieces. So anyways, like I said, I am just using very little pieces to make it all happen. I've got a couple of my stars. I'm taking some of the, I think they're ledger papers from Uniquely Creative, and I am taking them and backing my star geotags with them so the stars stick out just a little bit more. But then I'll end up tucking the pieces that I've cut off in other areas of my layout. I just don't think I've done that yet. I have this one lonely little star from the 49 and Market, wherever, anywhere, everywhere, somewhere collection. I don't know. And it was just lonely, so I decided to add it over on the 4-inch page. And that is what I have for this side. I still have to create the other side, and this is why I decided not to do the third page, because here it is 13 minutes into the video and I've only done one side. I still have the other side to do. So I'm going to flip my pages over as if I was to open the book. So if I was to have flipped it over as a whole 12 by 12 and I assembled the layout, it would not have made sense how I put it together. So I had to flip the pages as if I was to open the flip flaps, right? So again, I did print out small photos as well as large photos. I wasn't really sure whether or not I wanted to take up the whole space and do very little decoration, or do I want to print out little photos and have a little bit of room for decoration. It just depended on how creative I was feeling, in all honesty. I knew that I did not want to leave them too blank, but I also did not want to make it just a whole bunch of pictures. I wanted to bring interest into it. And these are the inside pictures of the bar, which I thought were appropriate to be on the inside of my flap, whereas the outside of my flap was the outside pictures of the bar, which I thought was kind of cool. The staircase on the outside, which I forgot to mention, that's the staircase that goes up into the Schooner's bar, right? Or Schooner's bar, I think is how you pronounce it. Ooh, somebody help me out. I always forget, you guys, always. So if you guys could help me out, that would be great. But that was the staircase where you go up the stairs and then it does that. There were loads and loads of nights where people were taking pictures and things like that. And I thought, oh, that would be kind of cool to bring my husband on this, because Janet and I, we're not that close to take pictures on a beautiful staircase like that. It was so funny. So anyways, I still giggle and laugh at some people. It's just crazy how, we were trying to take pictures together, but only as a remembering thing, not because we were together. So like all of my pocket pages, I will be gluing my papers back to back. Excuse the motorcycle. I have my door wide open, enjoying the nice cool air, and so it gets a little noisy sometimes. I apologize if you can hear it. But yes, I treat these flip-flops as if they were pocket pages, and I do not like the shifting of the papers within a pocket. They have very little room to go anywhere, but yet they still shift, and you can still see the back sides of everything. So I do not personally like that, so I glue everything down. I work from the back side of my layouts. I don't wait until I glue everything to my page, because of the fact that all that bulkiness ends up being harder to deal with, harder to actually apply and get the layout to lay down straight. So I put the background down first, and then I start building my page. This also allows me to know where the bulk is on the other side, and to not put bulk in the same spot. So that way it's double bulk front to back. And then I've got I get that it is going to add a wave to my layout. I understand that. I'm okay, and I accept that, you guys. I am the only person that will probably ever look through this album ever again. I really am. But to be honest, I want to know where that bulk is, so that way I can have a bulk down in the lower left hand corner, and then another bulk over in the upper right hand corner on the other side. So that way the layout technically is even in my album, even though it does have a slight wave to it. It's not really noticeable. At least I choose not to see it. How's that? All right, so I'm going to use the nozzles of my black distress spray, I think is how you say it, and just color in my film strip here. Just looking for something to play with. Here is that penny in your pocket again, and I'm just going to color my other globe. I thought it was appropriate to have another globe, just a little bit on the smaller scale. And I'm going to ink my coins. Again, I'm using the what is that, walnut stain? Yep, walnut stain ink to ink the coins. I'm not using a whole lot of ink because I don't want to lose the indentation of the coin. And then I'm going to take the penny in your pocket and just rub around on the outside to give it that coppery feel and look. And then of course I take some of that shimmer and rub it to the top, so that way it looks like a worn penny, right? So that is what I am trying to accomplish here. I also have that compass rose that I'm going to bring back the After Dawn colorings and make it, again, that really cool charcoal gray color that I am looking for. So I also took some of those rub-ons that are from 49 and Market. I only have a few of those left because if you remember a couple months ago, I did an entire layout where that was my background. And so I had just a couple of those left. So I used some on the first side, and now I'm going to split the rest of these on the second side, just as a little something that is almost like a watermark on my page. Especially on this one, you really can't see it. I'm also going to paint that wooden geotag, and I didn't realize that I did not have enough of the wooden star geotags, so I don't believe that I have another one to use on my third page or not. I do not remember, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and ink up a couple of these hexagons. They were left over from a previous layout as well, so I'm going to hook those up, and then I'm using the inner bits of these frames, again left over from the 49 and Market, one of their wherever collections. I do not remember if it's wherever, anywhere, everywhere, somewhere, nowhere. I don't remember where. But that is what they are, and they're the negatives, you guys. So I'm not actually using the frames that were intended to be used. I kept the negatives and really thought I could use these somewhere. I really could. I debated whether or not to bring in this brick piece. I really, really wanted to. I really did. But because of the bulk that was already on the other side, I opted not to. So I did also bring out my photos a little bit by putting a stark white border photo mat around them. So that definitely helps brings out my photos and helps them pop off the page from that very, I don't know if that was supposed to be a metal background, a wood grain background, or one of those stuccos that are falling off the wall backgrounds. I'm not sure, but it was a really cool background. And as soon as I saw that paper, I knew that it needed to be used for these pages, you guys. It was perfect. And the only one I had too, by the way. I think I bought a bunch of those Minte papers as one-offs at a clearance sale on Scrapbook Generation. I think that's where I purchased those. All right, so spreading around, I loved using these coins. Now these coins are, they're from Dusty Attic, but they're meant to be like around the world coins, like traveling coins or other country coins, right? And it was perfect because that is exactly what Globe and Atlas was about. They had this saying going across the bar that was in 3 different languages. Still didn't figure out what it was. I tried to look it up and I got a partial. I don't even remember if I remember what it says. I don't think I took a picture of it. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. But anyways, that is definitely something that I thought was appropriate, was using these foreign coins. Well, at least they're foreign for me. And it was just absolutely perfect because of, the bar's supposed to be, around the world or around the globe, things like that. Definitely just a cool vibe in this bar. I definitely really enjoyed it. And how many times can I say the word definitely in one sentence or one recording? Who knows? So I'm going to go ahead and finish up. I'm just scattering all over the place, putting a little bit here and a little bit there. Normally, I don't work so scattered all over a layout as far as getting, putting elements over here on the left and elements over there on the right and somewhere in the middle and things like that. Usually I don't, but for this one, it just seemed like the way that I was going to make it work. And when you're creative, you don't want to stop the rolling, right? You don't want to stop the creativity, even if it kind of makes you go, well, that's weird. I've never done that before. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue everything down. Again, because I'm using chipboard here and paper there, I am using a little bit of foam dots. Like I said, I'm not worried about the bulk, you guys. I'm just not. Here I'm just trying to create a cluster. I really didn't have anything to put in my frame, so I'm just trying to make a small little cluster at the bottom right left-hand corner of my frame. And that is just about it. I'm going to add a little bit more of my rub-ons, and I'm just using my fingers because the 49 and Markets are almost like clear stickers, you guys. They are fabulous rub-ons. I cannot tell you how much I love 49 and Market rub-ons. I am making sure that my rub-ons are in an appropriate place. I did not want them all to be around the frame. I wanted to make sure that they were scattered in at least all of my cluster areas. Even if it's just 1 or 2 or just a little bit. And that is it for me, you guys. I had so much fun creating and remembering this bar. I am glad I still have one more layout to work with, but it'll be fun. It really will. I can't wait. I should have took it into a totally different direction because of the subject matter of the photos, but I kept it appropriate. Again, sorry for the motorcycles. Please hold. They're almost gone. I know, just close the door, but it's so nice outside, you guys. I cannot resist just having all this fresh air inside my room. I love it, so I apologize. All right, you guys, so that is all of my layouts that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for enduring this super long video. I just cannot thank you guys enough. I will have my links down below. So I've got the Off the Board playlist link because we're doing Off the Board all month long. I will also have my cruise playlist as well as the cruise information if you guys are curious about 2025's cruise. And then just for kicks, I will go ahead and link those blending brushes from Altenew. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.